the expression, if you can't take the cold, you better get on out the gym? No? That's because no one's ever said it. It's a dumb expression. I'm going to level with you. I'm a heat hog. Now this whole spiel might just be me trying to justify that, but let's see. In a moderate climate, no matter the type of gym, be it bodybuilding, sports specific or so-called functional, there's normally a common element, the cold. Commercial gyms love the aircon. They do this to stop people from sweating. Not because sweating's bad for you, but because it increases the wear and tear on their equipment. Sports, bodybuilding or functional gyms are normally in warehouses, hangars or old buildings, and they just can't afford to heat the place. So in a temperate climate, these places turn into fridges, where a guy doing pull-ups is literally a hanging slab of meat. And when you train in warmer climates, those gyms are warmer and so the performance is better. In a gym where weights are being lifted, heat's important. The joints, tendons, ligaments and muscles function better when warm. Their elastic properties increase. And even the electrical signals travel faster in the heat, so you're more reactive. If a gym cares about their clients and has resistance equipment in it, the place would be at a temperature that encourages that. I mean, that's why they're suggesting you do the warm-up before starting. And if your time's precious to you, a cold gym's increasing the warm-up that you need because you require less of a warm-up on a warm day than a cold. The cold is excellent post-training, as any sports facility with ice bars proves. But gyms aren't cold because they're trying to reduce inflammation and muscle soreness. They're doing it because they're thinking about their fuel bill. Functional movement gyms are encouraging complex compound movements. To make sure you have less chance of injury, the less clothes, the better. I mean, how can you genuinely judge the orientation of the pelvis or the degree of scapular attraction under two hoodies and thick joggers? Without your X-ray specs, you can't. Lots of people have one forward rotated shoulder, and this is easy to miss under a sweatshirt. And most have some form of pelvic tilt, be it anterior, posterior or lateral, and this causes untold back, hip and knee problems if left unchecked. A cold gym means you cover up, and out of sight, out of mind. In a warm gym, you can wear less clothing, and then these issues are revealed. If your gym's running cold or isn't heated, you might be grateful that you don't sweat much, but the compensations you make biomechanically, which go unseen, might not be worth the cost of the sweat and a little bit more laundry. And beyond biomech, injury risk goes up for strength and power moves in cold environments. And whilst adversity builds character, injuries break bodies. Now these are some of the arguments presented by the gyms and the frost giants alike for keeping the gym cold. Prevent excessive sweating, which is unhygienic. But let's realise, gyms aren't sterile or hygienic places. You don't even want to know what CSI would find lurking in the hand pads of the CV equipment or in the gnarling of the bar. It'll make bar nuts look like the antidote. Sweating's the least of your worries. Prevents excessive sweating, which is dangerous from a health and safety standpoint. Danger's relative. How much sweat can a person generate doing exercise that can't be mopped up with a towel? I mean, when it rains outside, everyone isn't suddenly slipping and sliding. But the dangers of hurting yourself because you're performing movements poorly, but you don't know and you can't see because you're wearing 3 layers, are far more imminent and less easily rectified. Prevents excessive sweating, which looks unattractive or smelly. I'd buy the unattractive sweaty argument. In gyms, there weren't such things called nightclub dance floors, heaving with gyrating men and women drenched in body water. And that doesn't seem to affect their chances of attracting a mate. And fresh sweat's generally odourless. If you smell someone, I'll bet it's not the sweat they're sweating, it's the daily shower they're neglecting. Prevents excessive sweating during CV. Show me the endurance athlete that wins without breaking a sweat. Maximum performance requires effort, and that's accompanied by a little leakage. Be proud of yourself if you're trying hard. Keep hydrated and flush those toxins. It toughens up your character to train in a cold gym. Training in a fridge or training in an oven are equally arduous. So why don't you just train in an environment that's conducive to performance and get that better first? And that's probably about 20 to 22 degrees centigrade. And when you've mastered your performance and you're looking for another challenge, don't mess around with the thermostat. If what I've said has warmed you to the cold, hit the like button. And if you like my vibe, please subscribe.